Yo, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is Yo, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Behind me is a finished 7-bed HMO, and I'm going to give you an A to Z guide on how to take on one of these projects. So once you've bought the property, the first thing you want to do is go through the existing layout with a builder and find out the most cost-effective design. So they give you waste runs for all your en-suites, think of what walls you need to move to get what sizes, think of your kitchen layouts before taking it to an architect. Because this is a 7-bed HMO, we needed full planning permission. But an architect will always look at things from measurements and sizes. They won't necessarily look at things from materials or boots on the ground issues or structural walls. They won't always take into account the costly details, whereas a builder will. So you get your rough schematic for the layout you want, you take it to the architect and go, do me something like this. And then you work it back and forth and do you have the optimum design, hit all your space standards, and then submit to your local authority for planning permission. So once you've got your planning approval back from the council, albeit you get the approval and you don't get a rejection, then you'll then have to wait about 4 to 6 months for the planners to come up with their decision. And if you get the approval, then you come back to site and you go, right, great, we've got the 7-bed HMO, we've got the basic design, now we need to strip the thing out. So what that means is you go around a property and you strip out everything that needs to come out of the building. You've got to bear in mind you'll need structural engineer calculations for things like the chimney breast, which we removed from this side of the building all the way to the top. But you want to get everything out of the property that doesn't need to be in the property. As the first thing you do, you get it into skips or you stick it into a wagon, take it to the local depot, wherever that is. And whilst you're going through that process, you're also going to find a few snags within your design, and there might be some bits you want to change. At which point you tinker with the design, make sure you get the finished layout, make sure your electrical plan works as well. If you're doing bedside pendants, if you're doing sockets under bedsides as well, if you're doing all kinds of stuff, work all those things through in the strip out phase, because that's when you're going to see the bare bones of the building and you'll know what works for the most cost-effective spend. So we added a massive dormer to the rear side of this property, and when you do that you're obviously exposing the building to the elements and the weather, so you want to make sure as quick as you can you get the building watertight as well. So you're doing your strip out, you're sorting out all your structural remedies. So you can see up there in the top corner where we had to put in the gallows brackets to hold the chimney pots up. We got in this big steel, so there's a big RSJ running through here from wall to wall, the width of this property, to then support the dormer, which then pokes out onto the external wall. So we get the thing watertight, we get the strip out done, get all the structural fixes in place, and then we can start sorting out our drain runs and our layout. So you want to establish your waste runs throughout the building before you start doing your studs. So you want to make sure that you got a toilet there, sink here, and a shower there. So all of that water and the waste pipe from your soil stack has got to get down and out into the garden, to the main chamber, and then to the sewers. So to do that, you want to establish where those runs are going to be, and that's going to determine where your ensuite's going to be. You want the most cost-effective solution. Ideally, you want them stacked on top of each other. So below this bathroom is another bathroom on the other floor, and below that is another one on that floor. And behind that wall is another bathroom, and the same thing correlates down that side of the building until you get down to here and here, where the two soil stacks come down and out of the building, and then they run through this concrete, which we had to dig up, and into the chamber, which sits here, and then that runs out to the sewer at the back. So now your drains are done, you're going to go onto your metal framing, and the first thing you're going to do is get all of your suspended ceilings in. So the suspended ceilings will carry through the extractor fan from the bathroom, waste from any other floors above. They're going to be insulated as well to give you the acoustic value, so when someone's walking upstairs, then you're not hearing every footstep down in this room. But you can hide a lot of things in the void there. All your M&E can go into the void. So the main thing in HMOs, the stud work you're going to be dealing with is for your en-suites. There may be a room or two here or there that you have to jig around, but mostly you're going to try and work with the existing layout of the building, and then you're going to add in your studs, which will be metal frames. You can do it in wood, but we use metal frames, so MF studs, and then we board one side, and then we start all of our first fix. So you got first fix electrics, so things like this pendant coming from the ceiling. A cable's got to run through from somewhere, so it's going to go from your DB, and then it's going to have to get all the way up to here to then come down here to give you this light. And the same for these plug sockets, the same for the light switch for the room, the same for this light switch and the pendant up there and the smoke alarm system, and they run on different ring mains. You got to pull all that cable in for the first fix, get it all into roughly the right position where you want it later when you start closing out all of the boarding works. And you also have first fix plumbing, so to establish where your soil stack is, where you need your hot and cold for your sink and your hot and cold for your shower. And then you got your placements. And this is quite a long process. It takes some time because you do things like ripping up floorboards, which you've then got to replace later just to get your cable runs through, and then obviously dropping everything into the suspended ceilings where you're putting pipe work in. Let's say you might have to core a hole through brickwork and then join it up the other side. So it takes a long time to get that first fix right, and then you can start putting on your insulation, and then your second boards, and then all your structure, all your walls are pretty much ready. But once you've gone through all the steps I've explained so far, boarded everything, all your boarding work's done, then it goes to plastering, and you're going to start plastering the whole property. So every wall, everything needs to have a smooth surface ready for your decorative finishes. And then you're going to whitewash the whole thing, like just put white everywhere if you're doing this colour scheme. And then your joinery. So you would have first fixed all your frames initially when you put up all the stud works, ready for the door placements later on. And get all your door frames in, get your architraves and skirts done as well, and anything else woodwork ready to hang doors. And then you start finishing off your second fix. So like your radiators, your pendants, your sockets, get everything else done, screwed on, ready. It's your feature walls that you'll have to come back to because they're just always going to get snagged when you put carpets down and things like that. And once you've got those second fixes on, then you can come to your bathrooms where really you'd already have your shower tray in from an earlier stage when you're putting your first fix in, but your basin and your toilet would then come in at this stage once you put the vinyl down. And then you can start finishing off your handles for your doors with the locks, with a suited key system, and then your intermittent fire strip down your doors, which you need for fire eggs. Here's a better look at that intermittent strip, because this is an escape route. You'd have your carcass in at this stage as well for your kitchen and all your appliances, but your appliances might not necessarily be here yet. We keep all of our white goods and boiler off-site until the very last thing, in case for whatever reason someone breaks in and tries to steal stuff. At least they can't take the higher ticket items. So then you're getting all your flooring down, which is vinyls throughout, which is what we like to do, nice and hard wearing, and then hard wearing carpets with a soft underlay in all of the bedrooms. And you should then be left with a pretty much finished HMO. Get all the heating system turned on and make sure the building warms to a nice steady temperature, make sure all the showers run properly, make sure all the appliances are working. It's a lot that goes into it, but the end product's great. This building's going to produce over £4,000 a month, which means we'll be seeing about £2,000 a month net cash flow. So it's worth all of the work. The camera keeps dying on us, so we don't really know where we were. So I'm just going to finish off this video. So guys, the camera died on us. I can't really remember where we were. I was on some sort of tangent. So I'm just going to round up the video. But thank you for watching, and I hope this has been helpful. I've definitely muddled up a few bits here and there, and it's not an exact science, but hopefully it gives you an idea for all the stages involved with a HMO like this, especially with planning permission and stripping it all back and adding the dormer, and I didn't even mention the windows we had to put in. So we're going to do this video again one day and do it in stages and actually film it chronologically. But let me know if this has been helpful as it is, and give me suggestions for other types of videos. We're doing a lot of property and we want to film as much useful content as possible and stick it out there. So help me out with some ideas. Subscribe, drop me some comments, like the video. Yeah, I mean, we run a development business, a construction business, and a lettings business. We've merged them all vertically integrated into one group so that we can deliver HMOs and commercial to residential apartments for ourselves and for clients and investors that we work with. If you're interested to work with us, then hit us up at info@bowpartners.co.uk. Yeah, hopefully I haven't sounded like too much of a tit throughout this video, but thanks for sticking around. Do your thing. Shalabing. Wow.